See children, in previous class we studied about the collecting the data. Today we will discuss about the organization of data. Organization of data. See children, when you collect the data, you need to organize and record it. Why do we need to do that? To know that, you consider one example here. See, here the class teacher wanted to find out how children had performed in English subject. She writes down the marks obtained by the students in the following way. Consider one example here. The marks obtained by the children. Marks obtained by children in English. Here the marks obtained are given by 23, 35, 48, 30, 25, 46, 13, 27, 32, 38. See children, in this form the data was not easy to understand here. She also did not know whether her impression of the students matched their performance, and her colleague, means the class teacher's colleague, helped her to organize the data in the following way, which has been given here. Here roll numbers have been given and name of the students and marks out of 50. See children, here first names Ajay, Arman, Ashish, Deepti and Faizan. The marks obtained by them has been given here. Again roll numbers, names and marks out of 50. See children, in this form she was able to know which student has got how many marks here. See children, by the table you can tell now here which student has got how many marks. It was easy to tell that which student has got the how much marks here, and this was not enough to her and she wanted to know more, and her another colleague suggested another way to organize this data. See here, next table 3.5 has been given here. Again roll numbers have been given here, names and marks out of 50. See children, here the roll numbers are not in a serial wise now, and here first roll number 3 has been given here 48, roll number 6 has got 46 marks, roll number 10 38, roll number 2 35, roll number 9 32, and roll number 4 30, roll number 8 27, roll number 5 25, roll number 1 23, and roll number 7 13. See children, in first table also roll number and marks have been given. In second table also roll number and marks have been given. But in here the roll numbers are in serial wise. But in second table, that is table 3.5, here the roll numbers are not in a serial order now. But here the marks are in decreasing order now here. See children, first 48 has been given here and 46. From this table you can tell who has got the highest marks here. And many kinds of data we come across are put in a tabular form. See children, our school roles and progress report, index in the notebooks, temperature records and many others are all in a tabular form. Understood children? By doing this we can easily tell that who has got the highest marks here. This is all about the organization of the data. Next is representative values. representative values. See children, you might be aware of the term average. See, you have heard about the term average and would have come across the statements involving the term average in your day-to-day life. Here, take down some statements here children. First one is Isha spends on an average of about 5 hours daily for her studies. Second statement, the average temperature at this time of the year is about 40 degree Celsius. Next one, the average age of pupils means students in my class is 12 years. Next, the average attendance. The average attendance of students in a school during its final examination was 98%. Was 98%. See children, many more such statements could be there. See, think about the statements given here children. Do you think that the child in the first statement, she studies exactly for 5 hours daily? See children, first statement is Isha spends on an average of about 5 hours daily for her studies. But she will not spend exactly 5 hours daily. Or is the temperature of the given place during that particular time is always 40 degree Celsius. Or is the age of each pupil in that class 12 years? It is obviously not children. Then what do these statements tell you? By average we understand that Isha usually studies for 5 hours and on some days she may study for less number of hours and on the other day she may study longer. Similarly, the average temperature of 40 degrees Celsius means that very often the temperature at this time of the year is around 40 degrees Celsius. Sometimes it may be less than 40 degrees Celsius and other times it may be more than 40 degrees Celsius. Thus, we realize from these statements that average is a number that represents or shows the central tendency of a group of observations of a data. See children, average is a number that represents or shows the central tendency of a group of observations or data. Since average lies between the highest and the lowest value of the given data, so we say that average is a measure of the central tendency of the group of the data. See here children, since the average lies between the highest and the lowest value of the given data, so we say that here average, it is a measure of a central tendency of the group of a data. Different forms of data need different forms of a representative or the central value to describe it. One of these representative values is the arithmetic mean. See children, one of the representative values, it is the arithmetic mean. Arithmetic mean. You will also learn about the representative values in the later part of this chapter. See children, till now we studied about the organization of the data and why we need to organize the data. Means by organizing the data, we can get a particular information by looking at it. And also we saw about the representative values and we also discussed about the average. Next we will continue in our next class. Thank you.